an emotional purpose, a physical purpose, and so on. We will not be discussing that today, but you might want to keep your eyes open for it. Now, pretend for a moment that you created work that uses all of your inborn potential. You know, all the ingredients in the cabinet? It's guided by your life purpose. It allows you to freely express your individuality and your uniqueness through your personal brand. On top of that, you get to use your gifts and talents that come most naturally to you and are fun for you. It increases your engagement with yourself, your work, your colleagues. I mean, isn't that the ultimate payoff in life? Isn't that ultimately what we're all looking for, or most of us are looking for? And you can have all this relatively easily once you discover your purpose. And this might very well be the single most important thing I'm going to share with you today. All right? I want to jump back for a minute because I don't feel like I did this justice. And I want to go back to avoiding pain and going to pleasure. We live in a culture that is so oriented to pain and avoiding pain, most of us don't even notice we do it. So what does that look like? You go for the promotion that you see posted because you're afraid that if you don't take this job, there won't be another promotion coming along. You switch companies because you've heard rumors about a takeover and you don't want to be fired. You don't want to be laid off. That would be making a decision to run from pain. If you go to pleasure, you may go seek a new job because you've acquired some great skills in your current job and you'd love to put them to use. Maybe you want to start a new business because you've been thinking about it since 8th grade and it's time. That's going to something. There is 1,000 miles between running from and going to. And one is, whereas one is a fear of staying where you are, the other is the joy of going where you want to be. And what I've noticed is that people who are highly engaged in their lives are those who run toward pleasure. And people who tend to be disengaged are the ones who try to avoid pain. And that's important to know. People who make decisions to escape pain are primarily concerned about surviving. And those of us who put our focus on creating pleasure and joy and happiness, we're looking to thrive. That's the major distinction. So let's discuss what you're going to do. You ready for your money purpose? Here's what I'm going to invite you to do. That's a lot of information I downloaded. All right? How are you going to use this information? What I'd like you to do, if you're in front of your computer, is I'd like you to go to my website where you can download a handout we're about to use, and I'm going to continue to talk for a moment. And so my website is, you see at the bottom right-hand side of the screen, www.nancyDSolomon.com. Don't forget the D, / Nevada State Bank. I set up a little page on my website just for you folks for handouts, a special report, a couple of other things. I'll tell you about those later. So again, www.nancyDSolomon.com / Nevada State Bank. Thank you for Nevada State Bank for sponsoring this fantastic opportunity for the hundreds and hundreds of you who are really excited about changing your life in a positive direction. Much appreciated. You've been great to work with. And while you're getting your handout, let me say this. You're probably asking yourself how you're going to apply the principles of life purpose, money purpose, personal brand, gifts and talents, running from pain, your prime motivator, or going to pleasure. How are you going to apply these things every day? How are you going to use the theories to actually create the job you want or change careers or start your own business? And I'm going to go through these with you one by one. Knowing your life purpose will make your life very easy, because when an opportunity comes your way, if it's aligned with your purpose, you're automatically going to do it. You know, don't pass go. You're not even going to think about it. You don't have a decision to make. It's like anything that's systemic. You don't have to keep repeating this over and over and over again. Okay? Now, I'm letting you know that there are hundreds of you on the call, and right now the server may be a little backed up. So if you can't get right on, give it another minute or two, and you'll get that, okay? All right. Now, if, on the other hand, you get information or your instincts, your gut, I want you to trust your gut. I want you to trust your gut. And that tells you that your brand and the organization you're either in or you're thinking of going to does not align. I want you to run, and I want you to run quickly. If it doesn't align now, it's never going to align. Now, let me be really clear. There is a certain percentage of you out there who are currently out of work. And it's going to look for a minute like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. I am not. If your children need to be fed, if your rent needs to be paid, if your mortgage needs to be paid, get a job. Just get a job. And when you're settled in and things have calmed down and the economy will straighten out, I promise you, we know this. It just may take some time. Then you can go back to this and say, okay, right now, it's Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Right now I took care of the basics. Now I have the luxury of going back and designing what I really want. Do not, if you've been out of work for a year, turn down a job because Nancy said it's not aligned with your life purpose. All of us, myself included, many times, have done something that wasn't our favorite thing to do. I can tell you about spending an entire summer copying at the copy machine for an attorney because it paid great. It was flexible hours. I don't like copying, but it got me where I wanted to go. Remember, for those of you who are out of work, it's temporary. It's temporary. And when things settle down, you can do a job search that'll make you proud. All right? So while you do get that job, keep your eyes open. All right? And for those of you, I want to say one more thing before we move on. For those of you who are out of work, deliberately seek out positions first on the top of your list. Should be positions or positions within your organization where your purpose and their purpose are aligned. Now, here are your money purpose questions. And on the site and on this page, you will be able to download all of these slides. How cool is that? So if you can't keep up with me, I know I talk really fast. I have a lot of information to get to you today. No problem. You can just download the slides later, the handout and whatever, and in your special report I have for you. The old model, the model of thinking, back in the Jurassic time when my son tells me I was born, the old model was, there's a job over there. Who do I need to be? What kind of chameleon do I need to become to get that job over there? And what we would do, especially as women, is we would just give people what they wanted. So we would get the job, and then 3 months later we'd be miserable, and we'd go, well, what happened? The new model, the model I love is, here's my gifts, here's my talents, here's my purpose. This is who I am. Now I need to find a job that aligns with that. So here are the questions that are critical that you answer. And I'm going to just, as a little aside, say this. You can identify your gifts and talents, and you say, well, will they be valued? You need to learn how to demonstrate your value. You need to figure out what your contribution is and learn how to communicate that. You need to make a difference and figure out how within your personality style you can let people know. Because now more than ever, our managers are busy. They are likely, no matter how great they are, not going to knock on your door to see how well you're doing. Will I have an impact that, well, you're going to have an impact. It's going to be positive or negative. If it's positive, figure out a way to let people in your organization know that. So how are you going to apply this to, let's say, a job interview? When you go on that interview internally within your org or, externally, whether you're working or not, it's the same thing. You want to build a case for how your brand fits perfectly with the company's brand, you'll have much more leverage when you go to negotiate. You want to keep in mind that just the fact that you're looking at these qualities and you're answering these questions will put you head and shoulders above other people who don't use that language. I promise you, if you start to articulate the similarities between your brand and the brand of your organization, your group, the company you're going to, attention will be paid for this. I cannot tell you how many people I supported and encouraged in doing the work right in front of you that you see right here, were able to go into their boss during a performance review, during a question of, sorry, but we don't have money for a raise. Yes, but let me show you my contribution. Let me show you my impact. Let me show you the difference I've made. And that raise has miraculously, they must have magic fairy dust too, appeared out of nowhere. Okay. If you keep your money, your focus on your money purpose, if the job that you're being reviewed for, if you articulate it, have I said this enough? You're thinking, she said it 3 times, I get it. You really need to get this. You really need to get this. You don't want to go, if you're a non-smoker, you probably don't want to work for a tobacco company. If you have an electric car, you may want to work for a company that makes hybrid cars. If you your passion is about helping people get healthy, maybe you're a cancer survivor. You're going to want to make a difference that works for you. All right. And remember, when you apply for a job, you're applying for a relationship. Now, where are we? I don't know where we are. All right. My favorite Solomonism, by the way, you can go on the front page of my website and get these 5 days a week. They're free of cost. They inspire you every day. It'll feel like you're with me. All right. You get in life what you have the courage to ask for. If you're not asking the right questions of yourself and then of the people you're either hiring or being hired by, if you don't ask for what you want, the answer will be no. If you don't ask for what you want, the answer will be no. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to figure out exactly what you want. We're going to get to this in about 3.2 minutes. Ask for what you want. These are very simple questions, and it's the simple questions people miss. If you hate commuting and 20 minutes is the most you can possibly stand in your car, then don't apply for a job an hour away unless you're planning to move. There's a big difference between how much you need to earn versus how much you want to earn. Make that distinction. I do these life strategy sessions, which, by the way, we're going to enter you in a contest when I'm done, and a drawing, and maybe you'll win one with me. And I do these strategy sessions, and I'll say to somebody, so how much you want to make? And here's what I hear. Well, it would be nice if I made $75,000. Okay, I didn't ask you what would be nice. I'm asking, how much would you like to make? Well, I really only need $50,000. Okay, let me ask that a different way. How much would you like to make? Well, my sister makes $180,000. You get the point? You will earn exactly and precisely how much you want to once you know your money purpose. And my philosophy has always been that if somebody wants to pay me more money for the gifts I bring, so be it. Maybe you want to telecommute 2 days a week, right? If you don't ask yourselves these questions, you will apply for the wrong job or a job that can't give you the majority of what you want. You'll be off purpose, you'll be miserable, and then you'll be like me, sitting on my couch in New York 20 years ago and saying, how much money will they have to pay me for me to forget how much I hate my life? Now, what I'd like to do is, I beat that to death, I think, didn't I? I want you to take out your handout. We're going to spend about 7 minutes together